This section provides information about additional services that can help you protect your data. The AWS Secrets Manager service makes it easier for you to manage secrets. Secrets can be database credentials, passwords, third-party API keys, and even arbitrary text. You can store and control access to these secrets centrally by using the console, AWS CLI, or API and SDKs. With Secrets Manager, you can remove hard-coded credentials, including passwords, from your source code and avoid storing credentials in a configuration file. Instead, you use an API call to Secrets Manager to retrieve the secret programmatically. This helps ensure that the secret cannot be compromised by someone examining your code, because the secret simply isn't there. Also, you can configure Secrets Manager to automatically rotate the secret for you, according to a schedule that you specify. Therefore, you can replace long-term secrets with short-term ones, which helps to significantly reduce the risk of compromise. Let's look at an example of how to use Secrets Manager to secure database credentials. This approach uses an AWS Lambda function, which uses credentials from Secrets Manager to connect to and query a back-end Amazon Relational Database Service, or Amazon RDS, database. This is done without hard-coding the secrets in code or passing them through environment variables. This approach helps you secure last-mile secrets and protect your back-end databases. First, clients call the RESTful API hosted on Amazon API Gateway. Next, API Gateway runs the Lambda function. The Lambda function retrieves the database secrets using the Secrets Manager API. Secrets Manager retrieves the secret, decrypts the protected secret text, and returns it in a function over a secured channel. Finally, the Lambda function connects to the RDS database by using database secrets from Secrets Manager and returns the query results. With Secrets Manager, you can automatically rotate passwords for Amazon Aurora, MySQL, MariaDB, PostgreSQL, and Oracle databases hosted on AWS. To turn on automatic rotation, you need administrator permissions. This rotation is done without human intervention through a Lambda function, either on a schedule that you specify or as needed. For Amazon RDS DB Engine credentials, this Lambda function already exists. But if you have other credentials with an expiration, such as a SAML login, you might want to create a custom function for use with Secrets Manager. The rotation function does the work of rotating the secret. The process to rotate a secret has 4 steps, which correspond to 4 steps in the Lambda rotation function. Secrets Manager uses staging labels to label secret versions during rotation. First, the function contacts the database for new credentials. Second, Secrets Manager stores the new credentials with the AWS pending label. Next, the new credentials are tested. And finally, the new credentials are made the default with the AWS current label. Amazon Macie is a security service that uses machine learning to automatically discover, classify, and protect sensitive data in AWS. Macie recognizes personally identifiable information, or PII, such as passport numbers, medical ID numbers, and tax ID numbers. Macie also recognizes financial information, encryption keys, and credentials. You can even add custom-defined data types using regular expressions to enable Macie to discover proprietary or unique sensitive data for your business. Currently, Macie protects data stored in Amazon S3 only and is available in most AWS regions. Macie has dashboards and alerts that give visibility into data access by analyzing S3 resource-based policies and ACLs during sensitive data recovery. The service continuously monitors data and generates detailed alerts when it detects risk of unauthorized access or inadvertent data leaks. With Macie, you have full control of the service through the Macie API set, and you can centrally manage Macie from multiple accounts. You can also continue to use native Macie features for managing multiple accounts, which enables you to manage as many as 1,000 member accounts with a single Macie administrator account. Macie can help you classify your sensitive and business-critical data at S3 bucket level. Macie scans all supported objects found and evaluates them for sensitive data that meets the job criteria. You can further configure these sensitive data discovery jobs, for example, only classify PDF documents or classify all objects except those with a particular prefix. By default, Macie will continuously monitor all buckets in any account in which it is enabled. Findings are generated for any bucket that is public, not encrypted, or shared or replicated with AWS accounts outside of a customer's organization. These findings are reported in near real time. The Macie summary page in the console provides an overview of the buckets that have been through the Macie discovery process. As mentioned, buckets are monitored for allowing public access, not being encrypted, and being shared or replicated outside of your account. A Macie job analyzes data in specific S3 buckets for sensitive data. Each job uses managed data identifiers that Macie provides and optionally, custom data identifiers that you create. The service provides the ability to run one-time, daily, weekly, or monthly sensitive data discovery jobs for all or a subset of objects in an S3 bucket. For sensitive data discovery jobs, Macie automatically tracks changes to the bucket and only evaluates new or modified objects over time. Here are the key takeaways from this section. Secrets Manager helps protect access to applications, services, and IT resources. And Macie uses machine learning and pattern matching to discover and protect sensitive data in AWS. Thanks for watching.
Welcome to the Logging and Monitoring module. The first section provides an introduction to the module. At the end of this module, you should be able to log and monitor access and control to help identify security threats, as well as read and interpret log reports to identify security threats. You should also be able to monitor and report on your AWS resources and applications, and recognize when to use Amazon CloudWatch and when to use AWS CloudTrail. This module is broken into sections, each with its own video. Let's discuss how the concepts in this module are applicable to the bank business scenario. John's story of an insider threat at his previous employer gave Maria an idea. At their next meeting, Maria plans to discuss how to use the logging and monitoring capabilities that AWS provides. These capabilities can help an organization to identify, mitigate, and remediate security threats. Maria creates a list of AWS logging and monitoring services. She will discuss these AWS offerings with John and explain the potential benefits and, if necessary, the potential costs. Maria wants to align each service with a threat it could help mitigate, so she's prepared for questions or scenarios that John might bring up. Now that we've secured all of the tiers of a cloud application, let's look at the tools that AWS provides that help you log and monitor access to your resources to help you identify and react to anomalous behavior. Thanks for watching. This section covers the importance of logging and monitoring. Logging is the collection and recording of activity and event data. The service itself can provide logging capabilities, as with Amazon Virtual Private Cloud or Amazon VPC, Flow Logs, and Amazon Simple Storage Service or Amazon S3 Server Access Logs. Or a secondary service might provide logging, as you will see with AWS CloudTrail. The type of information logged will vary based on the service that is conducting the logging, but some common elements found within log files include the date and time of event, originating location of the request, and identity of the resources that were accessed. Logging provides you with a record of events, which is useful in troubleshooting, auditing, record keeping, and incident response and remediation. A comprehensive logging methodology can help you in every phase of your incident response strategy. Log files are a primary focus point in incident response because they record events at a specific point in time. Their ability to provide detailed, time-stamped records makes them a valuable asset to investigators and incident responders. Log files can assist you in troubleshooting performance issues within your AWS cloud, as well as your on-premise environment. These log files are also vital in the performance of security audits and for adherence to record-keeping requirements to maintain regulatory compliance. Monitoring is the practice of continuously verifying the security and performance of your resources and data. AWS provides multiple services that you can use to efficiently monitor those resources. AWS CloudTrail can provide a record of actions taken within your environment. You can use the service to log information like action type, user identity, and date and time an action was taken. With this information, you can monitor what is happening, who or what is doing it, and when it's being done. With Amazon CloudWatch, you can monitor your resources and applications in real time. The service provides you with system-wide visibility into resource utilization, application performance, and operational health. When paired with a solid incident response plan, monitoring services and tools can help you mitigate the effects of a system outage or malicious actor. In many cases, monitoring can help you spot an issue before it has any operational impact. Here are the key takeaways for this section of the module. Logging is the collection and recording of activity and event data. Monitoring is the continuous verification of the security and performance of your resources, applications, and data. And finally, AWS provides several services that you can use to log and monitor your resources. Thanks for watching. This section covers capturing and collecting logs. AWS CloudTrail is a service that helps you to implement governance and compliance while also helping you to conduct operational and risk auditing of your AWS account. CloudTrail records the actions taken by users, roles, or AWS services as events. The information helps you to maintain a log of who is doing what and when they are doing it. CloudTrail events will inform you about actions taken in the AWS Management Console, AWS Command Line Interface, or AWS CLI, and AWS Software Development Kits, also called SDKs and APIs. You can view, search, download, and archive these recorded events, meaning you can use them to analyze and respond to anomalous behaviors. You can integrate CloudTrail into applications by using the API, automate trail creation for your organization, check the status of trails you create, and control how users view CloudTrail events. Let's take a closer look at how CloudTrail works with the API. CloudTrail records information about each API call. This information includes the name of the API, identity of the caller, time of the API call, location of where the call originated from, request parameters, and response elements returned by the AWS service. This information helps you track changes made to your AWS resources, troubleshoot operational issues, and ensure compliance with internal policies and regulatory standards. Let's take a look at some specific elements of a log file and explore the information they can provide. This log file was generated when someone or something performed some kind of action. Take a moment to review this log file snippet, then answer the following questions individually or as a group. Question 1. What type of account did the log collect information about? Question 2. What information can be discerned from the ARN element? On the next slide, you will be able to see when this call was made. Take a moment to review this log file snippet, then answer the following questions individually or as a group. Question 1. What does the event source field give you information about? Question 2. What does the stop instances value in the event name field indicate? Question 3. What method was used to perform this action? AWS Console, AWS CLI, or other? Now let's see what was involved in this request. Take a moment to review this log file snippet, then answer the following questions individually or as a group. Question 1. What does the value I-EBEAF9E2 in the instance ID field indicate? Question 2. What was the action that was performed? If you need to track changes to such resources, answer questions about user activity, demonstrate compliance, troubleshoot, or perform security analysis, you can use CloudTrail to detect threats and provide security. The final portion of the log file shows us what the request parameters and response elements were. In other words, we can see what resource the user requested to perform an action on and what the response to that request was. The final portion of the log file shows us what the request parameters and the response elements were. In other words, we can see what resource the user requested to perform an action on and what the response to the request was. In the request parameters section, we can see that the request was made to an Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud or Amazon EC2 instance with the ID I-EBEAF9E2. In the response elements section, we can see the current state and previous state of the specific instance. With the current state of stopping and previous state of running, we can determine that Jane performed the stop action on this instance. Here are the key takeaways for this section of the module. CloudTrail helps you enable governance, compliance, and auditing of your AWS account. Actions taken by a user, role, or AWS service are recorded as events. And finally, CloudTrail records important information about each API call, including the identity of the caller, time of the API call in UTC, and origin of the call. Thanks for watching. This section covers AWS services with built-in logs. Amazon S3 provides you with a built-in logging feature in the form of server access logging. These logs provide a range of useful metrics which can assist you in multiple tasks, from security and access auditing to customer base insights. Server access logs can also provide you with insights into your data storage, which can help you to better understand your S3 bill. Flow logs is a built-in logging feature of the Amazon VPC service. Flow logs can capture information about inbound and outbound IP traffic from individual network interfaces, whole subnets, and even the entire VPC. You can publish flow log data to Amazon CloudWatch logs, or simply save it to an Amazon S3 storage location. Flow logs can assist you in troubleshooting issues, monitoring your VPC environment, and analyzing the flow of IP traffic throughout the environment. It's important to note that flow log data is collected outside the path of your network traffic, which means it has no impact on the throughput, latency, or overall performance of your network assets. Elastic Load Balancing logs, or ELB logs, capture detailed information about the requests that are sent to your load balancer. The information that ELB logs provide includes the time of request receipt, IP address of the client, network latencies, request paths, and server responses. You can use ELB logs to assist you in troubleshooting network issues and analyzing traffic on your network. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. This section covers monitoring and reporting. Amazon CloudWatch is a monitoring and observability service built for DevOps engineers, developers, site reliability engineers, or SREs, IT managers, and product owners. CloudWatch collects monitoring and operational data in the form of logs, metrics, and events. This information gives you a unified view of the AWS resources, applications, and services that you run both in the AWS cloud and on-premise. As part of the CloudWatch service, you can use CloudWatch events to deliver a near real-time stream of systems events that describe changes to your AWS resources. CloudWatch events becomes aware of these changes as they occur, responding to them and taking the corrective actions you stipulate as necessary. Note that CloudWatch Events is currently being replaced by Amazon EventBridge. Another element of the CloudWatch service, CloudWatch Logs, provides the ability to monitor, store, and access your log files from your EC2 instances, CloudTrail, Amazon Route 53, and other sources. With CloudWatch Logs, you can centralize the logs from all of your systems, applications, and AWS services that you use into a single scalable service. By using CloudWatch, you can easily view, search, filter, archive your logs. You can see all of your logs, regardless of source, as a single consistent flow of events ordered by time. You can query your logs and sort them based on other dimensions, group them by specific fields, create custom computations, and visualize log data in dashboards. It can be confusing at first to differentiate between CloudTrail and CloudWatch because of some similarities, but the two services have distinct differences. CloudTrail is used to continuously monitor and log the activity of users, groups, and roles within your AWS environment. CloudTrail logs are useful for compliance auditing, security analysis, and troubleshooting. In short, CloudTrail helps you determine who performed what action and when they performed it. CloudWatch is used to continuously monitor the performance of your AWS resources and applications. CloudWatch can help you detect anomalous service behavior and can notify you when such anomalous behavior has occurred. CloudWatch can provide you with increased oversight of your entire AWS environment. When combined, CloudTrail and CloudWatch increase your oversight capabilities both within your AWS cloud environment and on-premise. When used together, you can create custom CloudWatch alarms and notifications for specific CloudTrail events, enabling you to respond quickly to key operational issues. Here are the key takeaways for this section of the module. CloudWatch provides a unified view of the operational health of your AWS resources, applications, and services. CloudWatch collects monitoring and operational data as logs, metrics, and events. CloudTrail monitors actions, and CloudWatch monitors performance. And finally, you can create custom dashboards, alarms, and notifications for key metrics. Thanks for watching. This video covers best practices for logging and monitoring. To develop an effective logging and monitoring solution, you first need to define your organizational requirements. You need to identify the resources, applications, and services you want to maintain logs for. Your logging requirements will vary based on a number of factors, so you need to determine what the organizational, legal, and compliance requirements are for your workloads. Then, evaluate and identify the resources that AWS has available to assist you. When you collect these metrics and define baselines, you can gain insights into potential security threats. Once you establish your logging and monitoring needs, you need to define who should receive alerts and what they should do with the alerts they receive. Finally, collect your logs centrally using the automation capabilities from services like CloudWatch to detect and analyze any anomalies or indications of malicious activity. These are just a few examples of logging and monitoring best practices. For more in-depth information, review the documentation for each service in your AWS environment. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. This section covers additional AWS services for logging and monitoring. AWS Trusted Advisor provides recommendations that help you follow AWS best practices learned from serving hundreds of thousands of AWS customers. Trusted Advisor evaluates your account by using checks based on 5 categories of AWS best practices. The checks identify ways to optimize your AWS infrastructure, improve security and performance, reduce costs, and monitor service quotas. You can then follow the recommendations to optimize your services and resources. Trusted Advisor is available in all AWS support plans. AWS Basic Support and AWS Developer Support customers can access core security checks and all checks for service quotas. AWS Business Support and AWS Enterprise Support customers can access all checks, including cost, optimization, security, fault tolerance, performance, and service quotas. Amazon EventBridge is a serverless event bus service that makes it easier for you to build event-driven applications by connecting those applications with data from a variety of sources. The service connects applications using events, which are signals that our system's state has changed. There are no servers to provision, patch, or manage, and there is no software to install or maintain. EventBridge automatically scales based on the number of events ingested and has built-in fault tolerance. EventBridge was formerly known as Amazon CloudWatch Events. Both services use the same API, so any code you were previously using with CloudWatch Events stays the same. Both services are still supported, but new features are only being added to EventBridge. AWS Security Hub is a service that assists you in monitoring your cloud security posture through the use of automated and continuous security best practice checks against your AWS resources. Security Hub aggregates security alerts from various AWS services and third-party partner products and presents them in a standardized format, making it easier for you to take action on the alerts. You can also use Security Hub to create automated response, remediation, and enrichment workflows by taking advantage of Security Hub's integration with EventBridge. Security Hub provides a security score for each enabled standard, as well as a total score for all accounts associated with your administrator account. This information can assist you in monitoring your overall security posture. With the AWS Config service, you can assess, audit, and evaluate the configurations of your AWS resources. AWS Config continuously monitors and records your AWS resource configurations, which provides you the ability to automate the evaluation of those configurations against desired configurations. You can also use AWS config to view AWS Identity and Access Management, or IAM policies, assigned to IAM users, groups, or roles at any time AWS config was recording. This capability can aid you in determining what permissions belong to what user at that specific time. AWS config can assist you to maintain auditing and compliance by providing historical resource configurations. With a wide range of capabilities that AWS config offers, you can simplify compliance auditing, security analysis, change management, and operational troubleshooting in your AWS environment. That's it for this section. Thanks for watching. It's now time to review the module and wrap up with the practice certification exam question. You should now be able to log and monitor access and control to help identify security threats, read and interpret log reports to identify security threats, monitor and report on your AWS resources and applications, and recognize when to use CloudWatch and when to use CloudTrail. Now let's look at a sample exam question. A system administrator discovers that a user has deleted an Amazon S3 bucket without authorization, which initiated an incident response. Which AWS service can they use to determine the identity of the user that committed the incident? Option A, Amazon CloudWatch. Option B, AWS Config. Option C, AWS CloudTrail. Or option D, AWS Trusted Advisor. Note the key requirement stated in the problem. The solution needs to determine the user's identity. Consider the answer choices and rule them out based on this requirement. We'll pause a few seconds before discussing the correct answer. So how do these answers compare to the requirement? For the first choice, CloudWatch can alert you that an anomalous action has taken place, but it does not tell you the identity of the user. This doesn't meet the requirement. The second choice, AWS Config, can give you a record of configurations, but it cannot tell you the identity of the user who made the change. This doesn't meet the requirement. For the third choice, CloudTrail can provide a record of actions taken within your environment, logging the action type, identity of user, and time and date of the action. This could be the answer. The fourth choice, Trusted Advisor, is used to assess the security posture of your AWS environment, not to alert on anomalous behavior. This isn't the answer. Let's see what the correct answer is. The correct answer is C, CloudTrail. That concludes this module. Thanks for watching.
Welcome to the Responding to and Managing an Incident module. This first section provides an introduction to the module. At the end of this module, you should be able to identify an incident, describe AWS services that are used for incident recognition and remediation, and identify best practices for incident response. The module is broken into sections, each with its own video. Let's discuss how the concepts in this module are applicable to the bank business scenario. After discussing the various services that can be used to address threats, John announced to Maria that he's on board. She has his full support and the support of the board to begin preparing for migration to the AWS cloud. Maria is delighted, but she knows there's something else that needs to be addressed so they can be fully prepared. Maria knows that securing resources in the cloud is a job that's never fully complete. Because of the migration, the bank's incident response plan needs to be reviewed and updated. The plan needs to include the new tools and methods that their security administrators will use, and that's Maria's next project. Now that we've covered the tools that AWS provides to help you log and monitor access, let's take a look at how to respond to a security incident. Thanks for watching.